Hi everybody, this is the website boy from the websiteboy.com, and we are still talking about the main type of control structure, loops. In this tutorial we're going to be talking about another loop called the for each loop, and this is a little different from the last two loops that we looked at, which were the while loop and the for loop. Right, I'm going to show you the syntax and I'm going to show you how it works. So let's go ahead and let's make a for each loop. All right, so let me show you the syntax first. So let's just do a save as on this document, and let's call it 25 PHP, sorry, for each. All right, so now the syntax, let's go back here first and refresh. The syntax of the for each loop is like this: for each, and then don't mind this. This is something that I created automatically here. We'll probably get into that later on, but right now just worry about this. All right, and this would be a value. All right, this would be the array. This is how I want to explain it to you. All right, so the for each starts with a keyword for each all together, no capital anything, and no separation, just for each. Then it has a parenthesis here, and inside this parenthesis is gonna take some arguments, some keywords in here. The first value here, the first um, um, keyword that is gonna take or value is the array. All right, so the for each works like this: it takes an array, it takes the value of an array, and it doesn't work like the other loops where you put a condition there and based on that condition it will stop. The for each loop keeps going until it reaches the end of this array. So for example, let's make an array here called list, and then I'm gonna make an array, right? And I'm gonna put some items in here, some numbers: 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12, right? So the for each loop we get into this array, and then we go with starting with the 2, 4, 6, and we then when it gets to the 12 it will stop. All right, so this is the array, and we got to put the name of the array here, and this special keyword as is used to assign the value of this array to this variable here. And I named the value, but you don't have to name a value. You can name it whatever you want. All right, but I named the value so that you understand that that's what it's doing. All right, so now the value can be named something else. We can name it whatever we want. All right, what it's doing though is that each time it goes through the loop, right, and a value is going to be assigned to this variable here, right, and it's just being defined right now right here, right? So it doesn't have to be named value, it could be named something else. All right, so that way we have access to whatever's in the array by using this variable right here. All right, so let me just show you real quick how it works, or hopefully you understand that. We are grabbing the array here, name, and we are using this keyword as to assign the value of whatever is inside this array to this variable right here, so that way we can have access to it in our code inside here. All right, so for example, let's say I want to display those values here there, right? So every time I loop around I want to display a value from this array. So I'm going to echo, and I want to display something there. I want to display the list, and remember I'm going to use this value now. The whatever we got here, we can use this as a reference to the information here. So let's use this value variable now, right? So list, and then I'm gonna put some curly brackets in here. I don't think I show you this, but I will explain it right now what I'm doing. So I'm going to type the value All right, and then I will put a break line there, HTML, and let's go ahead and refresh. And we got some undefined stuff. It's saying that on line 17, um, I'm doing something wrong here. It's telling me invalid argument supply for each line 17, the argument, right? Because the value here is not the same. Let's refresh, and now as you can see here, right, we are displaying every time we go around the loop the value right here of that, or each of these indices in the array. So every for the first time the loop goes around, which is gonna go to this value here, it's gonna grab the value and assign the value to this variable right here. All right, so now we can use that as a reference. Now this variable is going to be equal to each of these spots every time it goes around. So the first time it goes around, this value is going to be 2. The second time it goes around, this value is going to be 4, as you can see right here. The third time is going to be 6, and so forth. All right, now what I'm doing right here that you might not understand is that I can put a variable inside the string. If I use double quotes, I can put a variable with a curly bracket. For example, this is not related to this, but I just wanted to explain it to you because I know you might be confused with what I'm doing right here. Because you can't do that. Usually what you do is you grab a string and you say hello, for example, and then you concatenate that variable like this. That's what you usually do. All right? That's what usually everybody does. All right? So what I'm doing right here is that I'm using a string, and inside the string I can use a variable if I use these curly brackets, but I can only do it if I have double quotes. If I do it with single quotes, it does not do it. So for example, if I use single quotes here and I save and refresh, it does not read the variable. All right, it takes everything as a string. In order for these curly brackets to work, or this variable inside this string, I need to put double quotes, and then the curly brackets will let PHP know that this is a value, a variable, and it will display the variable value. All right, refresh. That way we don't have to use concatenation. All right, I don't like using this concatenation stuff. I don't like using this. Um, Let me just do it again just to let you know. I don't like using this. Sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I use it, but it doesn't look right. I like to use the variables inside strings. All right, so this would do the same thing, but this would be more effective since I don't have to go ahead and concatenate that BR tag like this again in another double quotes. Right, so it does the same thing, but in a different way. All right, so anyways, I just wanted to give you show you exactly what a for each loop does, the syntax of it, and that's it. So anyways, if you were able to learn something new from this tutorial, if it helped you in any way, thank me by favoring this video, by liking it, and giving some motivation. Thank you so much again for watching the Website Boy tutorials, and may you have a blessed day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next PHP tutorial. Website Boy is out.